Hello everyone, Dr. Ryan here to talk to you today about the gateway skill, the invitation. What I'm going to go over today is a brief script on exactly how to invite people to take a look at the business opportunity through an online video presentation. What I'm going to do is, let's say I have a prospect and his name's Bob, and I got Bob here on my written list, and I want to reach out to Bob and see if he's open to taking a look at the opportunity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give Bob a call. I'm going to say, "Hey Bob, how's it going? Dr. Ryan here. How you doing?" And Bob's going to pick up the phone and he's going to say, "I'm doing good." And I'm going to say, "Hey, listen, I'm in a hurry, but I thought of you. I'm running out the door right now. I'm about to go into a meeting, but I want to give you a call real quick. Did I catch you at a good time?" And if Bob says yes, I say, "Great. Well, do you have a few minutes on your hands?" And he'll say, "Yeah." And I'll say, "Great. Well, listen, the reason I'm calling is, I'm working on a project to create some extra income in addition to my full-time job, and I'm super excited about it. And I got to thinking about you, Bob, and how you're such a big influence in the community, how so much people look up to you, and, and obviously the success you've had in your life. And, I got a real simple question for you, Bob. Do you at all leave your options open for side projects to make a little extra money in your spare time?" And if Bob says yes, I'll say, "Great, are you near a computer?" And if Bob says no, I'll say, "Well, can you get to a computer?" And if Bob says, "Well, right now I can't actually get to a computer," I'll say, "Well, how soon can you be in front of a computer?" And if he says, "Well, I can be in front of a computer tonight at 7 p.m., I'll say, "Hey, great, Bob. So if I call you at 7 p.m., you'll be in front of a computer and have about 15 minutes on your hands?" And Bob says yes, I'll say, "Great, well, Bob, I'll call you at 7. When I call him back, I'll log him onto the website and I'll show him the business presentation, and I'll make sure I hear it on my side of the phone and make sure he's watching it. Now, a lot of times you might say, "Well, I'm not in front of a computer right now, but let me get the link." Or could you tell me the website? And I'll say, "Well, you know what, Bob, I actually have to walk you through the information. What time can you be in front of a computer, and how soon can you be in front of a computer this evening or this afternoon?" And I'll just tell him I have to walk you through it. You see, there are a couple of things I didn't go through in this conversation, and I wanted to go through it line by line so you know exactly why I say what I said when I said it. The first thing I said is, "Hey Bob, how you doing? Dr. Ryan here." Just basically opening up the conversation. And the next thing I said is I set the tone. I set the tempo of the conversation. I say, "Hey Bob, look, I'm in a hurry. I'm running out the door. I'm running to a meeting, and I wanted to give you a call real quick." So what I'm doing is I'm setting the mood, because what I'm doing is I'm acting as if I'm in a rush. And if you're not in a rush, get in a rush. Start making phone calls when you're going places, when you got the car door open, when you got the kids screaming. Get busy. And what I'm doing is I'm setting the tempo of being busy, because if I act like I'm busy, and if I actually am busy, it tends, Bob's just not going to ask me all the questions in the world. He's not going to hit me with a bunch of different questions. And obviously I don't want to get hit with questions, because you end up in the valley of death and you start answering questions about the business, and you don't want to end up in that zone. And what I'll do is I'll open up the time slot. I'll say, "Hey, do you have a few minutes right now to talk?" And if he says yes, I'll say, "Great," because you don't want to start talking to Bob and he's changing the oil. Bob's not going to listen to you if he's changing the oil, if he's got the kids screaming in the back, or if he's busy cooking dinner. You want to make sure Bob is able to listen to what you have to say. The next thing, as I say, is, "Look, the reason I'm calling is I'm working on a project to create some extra income in addition to my full-time job." Starts to lead into what I'm talking about. And then the next thing was extremely important, is I complimented Bob. I said, "Look, obviously you're huge in the community, you're a person of influence, you've been extremely successful," because I'm edifying Bob to the point where he's on cloud 9. If you go ahead and you kind of put him on a pedestal for a few moments, he'll rise to the occasion. He'll be more willing to accept what you're going to say next. And the next thing I say is, "Hey, look, I got a simple question for you." And then I go into the simple invitation. Do you at all leave your options open for side projects to make a little extra money in your spare time? And there are a couple of things about this invitation that work really well. The first thing is, "Hey, do you keep your options open for side projects?" I'm not saying, do you keep your options open for a full-time job? I'm not saying for part-time. A lot of times, people in today's economy, they can see themselves doing something in their spare time. And that's why I say, "Hey, Do you leave your options open for side projects to make a little extra money in your spare time? Because people can see themselves doing something in their spare time. And then after Bob says yes, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to direct him to the information. I'm going to get him in front of the presentation, and I'm going to say, hey, great. Are you in front of a computer? Because if he's in front of a computer right now, I want to get him over to the information, get him on the website, get him to watch it right now. And if he's not in front of a computer, I'm just going to say, hey, can you get in front of a computer? And if he can't get in front of a computer, I'm going to say, how soon can you be in front of a computer? And I'm setting the tone and setting the urgency and setting that appointment. If he says 7 o'clock, I'll be in front of a computer, I'll say, great, Bob. So if I call you at 7, you'll have about 15 minutes uninterrupted time. At 7 o'clock, if I call you, and he says yes, I'll say, great then, Bob, I'll call you at 7. And what I did is I established that appointment 3 different times, and really solidifying it in his head. And that's really it. You know, I'm not going into the business. I'm not going into the name of the company. I'm not going into what we do. If he asks any questions or, you know, wants the website, I'm just going to say, hey, look, I got to walk you through it. If he really pushes really hard and tries to get me to explain, I'm just going to say, hey, look, Bob, it's like me trying to give you a haircut over the phone. It's just not going to happen. And I'm going to keep it just like that, keep it really simple, set the appointment, get in front of the video presentation, let the video do the work. Less you say, the more you make, and it's just how it is in this business, guys. Dr. Ryan here. I hope you enjoyed this video on a basic invitation, and if you like what you saw, feel free to leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share it. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in today, and appreciate you.